Imagine this. Your firstborn follows every rule, your second challenges them, and your lastborn? They're the wild card, the free spirit, the dreamer. Is it just personality or something deeper? What if the order your children were born in doesn't just affect their behavior, but actually shapes who they become for life? Today, we're going deep into the fascinating science of birth order psychology, backed by evolutionary theory, brain development, and decades of research. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your kids or yourself the same way again. Lesson 1. Birth order isn't just a myth. For years, people brushed off birth order as a fun theory. Firstborns are leaders. Middles are peacekeepers. Lastborns are rebels. Cute idea, but not exactly science, right? Wrong. Frank Sulloway, a Harvard researcher, published a groundbreaking book titled Born to Rebel, and it turned the world of child psychology upside down. Instead of blaming how parents treat each child differently, Sulloway argued something radical. It's not just nurture, it's evolution. Each child, he says, is fighting for survival in one of the most competitive arenas of all the family. And their behavior is a direct result of how they carve out their Darwinian niche. Lesson 2. The Darwinian niche theory explained. Let's break it down. Imagine you're the firstborn. You arrive to a world where every niche is open. You can be the smart one, the good one, the leader. Then your younger sibling shows up. Suddenly, your position is threatened. So what do? You dig deeper into your identity. You become more conscientious, more rule-following, more parent-pleasing. The secondborn arrives and realizes that niche is taken. The secondborn looks around and thinks, if I can't be the best, maybe I'll be the boldest. So they take risks, question rules, and push boundaries. That's how they carve out their own identity. Then, the lastborn arrives. All the obvious roles are already taken. The responsible one, the rebel, the peacemaker, gone. What's left? Creativity, humor, charm. So the youngest child often leans into being the entertainer, the outlier, the unconventional one, not by accident, but as a survival strategy to stand out and still win affection and attention. Sulloway's theory shows us that children don't just grow up, they adapt. Lesson 3. The Big 5 Personality Traits and Birth Order. Now let's tie it to something every psychologist loves: the Big 5 Personality Traits. Sulloway didn't just theorize, he ran the numbers. Across thousands of families, here's what he found. Firstborns score higher on conscientiousness and agreeableness. Middle children often balance out with lower neuroticism and strong diplomacy skills. Lastborns score significantly higher on openness to experience, which is often linked to creativity and nonconformity. This helps explain why a huge number of innovators, artists, and even revolutionaries are lastborns. In fact, in a study of 28 radical scientific breakthroughs, 23 were led by someone who was a later-born child. That's not coincidence. Lesson 4. How family dynamics shape brain and behavior. But it's not all about personality. Birth order literally affects how your child's brain is wired and the kind of pressure they grow up with. Firstborns tend to feel more pressure to succeed, to lead, to set the example. They often grow up with more rules and more attention from parents, but also more expectations. Middle children learn to navigate both upward and downward in the sibling hierarchy. They develop negotiation skills early, often becoming the quiet glue of the family. Lastborns often receive more leniency, more freedom, and a less intense parenting style. They might also experience less one-on-one time, so they learn to be more independent or more performative. The point is, each child reacts to their environment, carving a role that both protects them and helps them thrive. Lesson 5. Common misconceptions. Let's clear something up. Birth order isn't destiny. Not every firstborn is a perfectionist. Not every middle child is invisible. Not every lastborn is a class clown. These are patterns, not rules. Factors like age gaps, gender, parenting style, and even cultural context can shift how these dynamics play out. If your children are 5 years apart, for instance, your second child might act more like a firstborn. Lesson 6. What this means for you as a parent. So, how can you use this science to help your children? Acknowledge the invisible scripts. Understand the roles your children are naturally stepping into, not to box them in, but to bring awareness. Create space for each child to be seen. Give your firstborn permission to fail. Let your middle child lead sometimes. Encourage your lastborn to take responsibility, not just jokes. Watch your own expectations. Do you expect more from your oldest? Do you dismiss your middle child as easygoing? Do you spoil your youngest without realizing? Build identity intentionally. Help each child see their own strengths outside of sibling dynamics. Say things like, "You're so thoughtful when you solve problems. I love how you stand up for what's right," or "You always find a new way to look at things." Final thoughts. At the end of the day, birth order gives us insight, not excuses. It helps us understand why our children act the way they do, and it gives us the power to parent more empathetically, more intentionally. Because in the competition for attention, love, and identity, what your child really wants more than anything is to know they matter just as they are. Not as a firstborn, not as a middle child, not as a baby of the family, but as a one-of-a-kind human being, deeply loved. If this opened your eyes to your own childhood or helped you see your kids more clearly, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with another parent who needs to hear it. Your family is your legacy. Let's raise them with love.